What is going on, everybody? Welcome to SB Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm RD, flying solo tonight on this beautiful Tuesday. How are y'all doing? Love catching up. It's been a while since I've been solo, kind of knocking around, seeing what's going on. But yeah, what a week. I don't think there was any. Were there any teams on bye week this week? I don't think there was. It was like one of those rare times where it's like the middle of the season, no one's on bye. So, no. Cowboys were on a bye week, weren't they? They had to have been. Yeah, because we were talking about them coming out of the bye week. No. That was this. Yeah, this week. Yeah, whatever. Anyways. Yeah. Hey, Lizzie, how you doing? We're actually going to be, Lizzie's going to give us a call here later today because we're going to talk about a fantasy league that we're a part of. It's a Survivor league. It's hilarious. It's not funny. It's quite stressful, but it is what it is. So this week we're going to talk some, week 8 studs, waiver wire, injuries, start, sit, see how it goes. Probably get out of here in about 30 minutes because I do want to watch the World Series. It's on right now. And spoiler alert, the Dodgers are already up 2-0. So, but anyway, yeah, let's jump right into it. I mean, this is going to be PPR format. And we're going to start with I changed the points, the fantasy points, and then I saw Mitch Trubisky -point. And I was like, whoa, that ain't what I'm looking for. Let's start with QBs. Jalen Hurts. 41.5 points this week. Unbelievable. Famous Jameis. Michael. Oh, he came out slinging it. I was like, man, maybe it takes a little bit longer, but he did what he does, what Jameis does. Gets out there and slings it. He had a hell of a game. So Jalen Hurts, 41.5 points. Kirk Cousins was right behind him with 41.40. Bo Nix, 38.6. Matt Stafford, 35.55. Herbert finally, right? What's going on with him? He finally woke up. 34.85. That's your top 5 right there. Purdy, Winston, Mayfield, Daniels, and Jackson round out the top 10. Now, they're all above 30. And I think the biggest surprise is Jameis and Winston, but maybe a little bit of Hurts, too. Hurts has not done great this season, right? So, I don't think he's done that great, but anyhow. But yeah, speaking of Winston, he threw for 334 yards, had 3 touchdowns. It's crazy. I couldn't freaking believe it. Every time it popped up on the red zone, I was like, this is nuts. This is bonkers. And I'll be honest with you, I think he's got kind of a favorite receiver. So we'll look a little bit more at that later for waiver pick because his favorite receiver is available in most leagues. So if you want to take a look at possibly some duds, we can do that. What's up, Duncan? How you doing? Good to see you. Looking at some duds, I'd say Prescott put up 20 points. That wasn't a great showing, right? Tua, 19. His first week back, though, got things going, and they are back to running the ball. But as far as starters, Geno only put up 10 points. Jordan Love, 9.70 points. Now, Love is hurt. And Caleb Williams, I thought, was kind of a disappointment as well. 10 points. Drake May got hurt as well. He put up 11.75. Anthony Richardson, 17.25, and bad news, for managers of him. He's getting benched. It's Flacco's team at this point. So, but the real stinkers, they didn't really do a whole lot. Rattler was in there. I think towards the end they put in the, what was that other guy's? What the hell was that guy's name? I don't even know. But yeah, you had some real big studs, and then you had some duds, right? And that's the way it goes. And then we go look at the, hold on real quick. Day-to-day, yeah. And I saw the report on it. We'll talk a little bit more of that in a little bit. Go, Pack, go. I hope he's back. I tell you what, I had him started this week. I lost. I was like, I've been waiting. He was hurt, came back. I was like, auto start. Absolutely. I think he's a great quarterback. He's young. He was able to sit there and watch and learn so freaking much, and you can tell he's got a lot. Who's your best pickup for this week? We're going to get to that. Because I'll be honest with you, this is one of the weeks where I'm just like, I don't really need anybody off this waiver wire. You know what I mean? So, but we'll talk waiver wire in a little bit. For receivers, CeeDee Lamb led the way, 39.60 points. Absolutely dominated. I need to move this over to the side just a little bit more. Had 146 yards, 2 touchdowns, 13 receptions. Had 17 targets. Bonkers. Lad McConkey in second, 31.10, had a massive game. 2 touchdowns as well, 111 yards, 6 receptions, killed it. And then this is one of the pickups, Cedric Tillman. the dude balled out. Jameis got, fed him the ball. Now, he did good against Cincinnati the previous week. He did. He had 12 targets, 8 receptions for 81 yards. And then this week against Baltimore, he had 9 targets, 7 receptions for 99 yards. But the 2 TDs, baby, that's what helped him. So he's only rostered in 19% of fantasy leagues. And this is on Yahoo, obviously. So he'd be one of the guys I'd be eyeing, especially if I need a receiver. Calvin Ridley finally showed up in an absolute shootout. 143 yards on 10 targets, no touchdowns. That's what he's missing, like a touchdown, and then boom, he's in second. Josh Downs, he had a hell of a week. 4 for 109 and a touchdown. Now he's also someone we're going to talk about for a potential waiver wire targets. He's only rostered in 47% of leagues. Marvin Harrison Jr. He had 23.10 points. Devontae Smith, 22.50. Excuse me. A name that I did not know, Calvin Austin. All of a sudden, that dude's going off and scoring touchdowns. I was like, oh, God. I thought he almost had another one. He went 3 for 54 and a touchdown. He gave you 20.40 points. Jamar Chase, 20.40 as well. He went 9 for 54 and 1 touchdown. That doesn't make any sense. I must be thinking about some other things too. Okay, yeah. I was like, so he got a touchdown. He did a punt return as well, or a kickoff return. Was it a punt return? I think it was a punt return. That's why Austin got the same amount of points as Chase. Yeah, there you go. I mean, some notable mentions: Justin Jefferson, 19.5 points. Scary Terry, 19.5. Chris Olave was back. He put up 18.70. Now, if you're looking at kind of duds, you're like, all right, thanks to him and D-Hop, oh, man, yeah, led me to a win. Nice. Real nice. Good stuff. Tillman, what's up, Lopez? How you doing? Yeah, Tillman or D-Hop. I mean, I don't know. I'll get to it. I'm not starting D-Hop, so, yeah. There we go. I mean, McMillan, he was kind of a stinker. He got 9.20. Reed only put up 9.5. And those are guys that you kind of expect a little bit more, right? Ricky Pearsall put up 11.70. I didn't know what to think of him. You just really didn't know. I'll tell you one, Trey Tucker. I know that Jacoby Meyer was back, but Tucker's been getting some action. He put up 5.3 points. He only had 2 receptions. Hopkins, first game in, 2 for 29. That's the reason why we're talking about, like, no, not him. We're going to take Tillman. So, just to answer your question, I'm glad they got people in here who are willing to help you out there. How about that? Give me 1 second. Yeah, I mean, that was, for me, that's extremely easy. It's going to be Tillman. It's back-to-back weeks. That's 2 different, he's going to be the guy for that. Yeah, absolutely. So that makes it easy enough. I'm just clicking on stuff, looking around. What should I expect from CD this week? It's hit or miss. It really is. I'm playing him. I'm starting him. There's no way. There's no way in my head that I can start. I can not start CD Lamb. There's no way. Nice back. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's Halloween. And we do the other show as well. I do Strikeout Beer. I just did it solo tonight because Alan was he's usually busy on Tuesdays, so went ahead and just took care of it myself. I was like, you know what, But yeah, I big Halloween fan. We're ready. We're geared up this week. Moving on to our running backs. A-Chain's back, baby. He led the league, 28.70 points. James Cook, 28.3. He had a hell of a game too. A-Chain had 10 attempts for 97 yards, no touchdowns on the ground rushing, but he had his touchdown via a reception. Went 6 for 50. Now, Cook, he got 2 touchdowns on the ground, put up 111 yards, and then tacked on 3 receptions for 22 yards on top of that. Josh Jacobs finally gets in the, he doesn't score touchdowns. That's one thing we were talking about a couple weeks ago, right? And then, boy, against Jacksonville, 127 yards, 2 TDs, dude's on fire. And then, let's just be honest, is it Tyrone Tracy's team now? It's got to be, right? 145 yards, a touchdown, had tacked on 2 more receptions. Unbelievable. What's up, buddy? Hey, man, old school. How are you, sir? So glad to see you. So glad to see you. Oh, yeah, you like you're Halloween fan? I feel you. Big Halloween guy. We got front yards decorated to the. It's nice. Bijan Robinson. Hey, look at him in the top 10. He's a fifth, number 5 running back this week. Put up 63 yards on the ground, and then he had 7 receptions for 43 yards and a touchdown. I mean, that's where the bulk of his dough came from this week, that's for sure. Ramondre Stevenson making his way back in it as well. 48 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 receptions for 17 yards. Joe Mixon, love to see it, 23.40, 102 yards on the ground and a tutty, 4 receptions for 32 yards. Now, Kyron Williams, guess what? He scored a touchdown. You know, he scores every freaking week, it seems like. And, of course, this one was through the air, but he still put up 97 yards on the ground. Jameer Gibbs, big week, 22.30 points, 127 yards on the ground and a tutty. Caught 1 pass for 6 yards. Excuse me. I did want to mention Garendo. He came in for Mason. And I tell you what, being a Mason manager, it's just frustrating, to be honest. And then, of course, shoulder injury again. And then, dude, Garendo just ran wild. 85 yards, a touchdown. Caught 3 balls for 17 more yards. Hell of a game for him. Hell of a game. So, whew. Let's take a look at some duds. Now, Tyler Algier, 3.30 points. And I know he's a backup. Nick Chubb, 5.2. Roshan, he was supposed to get like 0.6 points, right? But they bring him in and let him fall into the damn end zone. I thought that at first. I was like, why is he in the game? Well, where the hell is Swift? But yeah, he salvaged his night. Eckler had kind of a bust along with Moss. They both scored 7.8 and 7.9 points respectively. And that's kind of it. I mean, barring injuries and things like that. Everybody else that, they just didn't play. Wasn't there. So no big deal, but yeah, you had some. I don't think I posted the worst lineup yet this week. I'll probably do that tomorrow. I did the perfect lineup today. I did mention Lizzie getting bumped from a league, and we're gonna have her call in here in a second once I get through these studs. And of course, I gotta check comments. I'm bouncing back and forth. Do you think them talking about CMC is just smoke and mirrors? He's supposed to come back. I guess we're all in the same boat, right? Where you're just like, okay, well, is he coming back or is he not coming back? I don't know. And with them being on a bye week, it's... I don't know. I don't know what to do. And I bet you we don't get information about that until they talk in week 10. But I don't know. I do not know. I have no freaking idea. Even when you go check it out, they're giving you that hope, right? Oh, he'll be back. But is he going to be on a snap count, right? Which kind of leads us into Old School's comment here. How long do you think Garendo will be the man? This gives 2 weeks for Mason to get healthy. Then all of a sudden you got a kind of a clustered backfield in Santa Clara in San Francisco. It's like, I just want somebody to get healthy and get after it. I mean, if CMC is still out, it's supposed to be Mason's backfield. But Garendo came in and showed you what he can do. So now at the very worst, they're splitting. At the very best, they're splitting. So thinking about stashing Garendo also, yeah, he's a stash. If you got a place on your lineup and you don't really, he's not going to be there. He's not going to be there on Wednesday morning to pick up. You're going to have to burn waiver priority on him. You're probably going to have to burn some fab. Should I trade Mason? If someone's buying, maybe. And that's not even a maybe. That's a yes. I'm sorry. Yes. They're talking about CMC coming back. Mason's not going to have a role, and he gets hurt every 5 seconds, right? He started off so great, like the beginning of the season. It's like, here we go. And it has been a letdown since. Give me 1 second. I'm flipping back over here. Tight ends. If you didn't know, if you're watching any football, they said it's National Tight Ends Day about 87,000 times. Him for Montgomery. The Montgomery manager is not going to okay that. He's not. Montgomery's better than Mason, and Montgomery has more upside. Montgomery score you a damn touchdown every week. Mason's not going to do that. National Tight Ends Week. It had some record of I don't know how many touchdowns were scored by these guys, but they went off. Kate Otten leads the way, 29.10 points, 9 receptions, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts had a game, 4 receptions, 91 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well. Kittle, Kittle's going to get his, right? 6 for 128 and a touchdown. Kelsey, 10 for 90 and a touchdown. McBride, 9 for 124. No touchdown, though. That was the only downside of McBride. Kraft got in the end zone. He had 78 yards on 3 receptions. Trotman from Denver, 4 for 85 and 1. Njoku scored a touchdown. Laporta scored a touchdown, and Laporta don't score touchdowns. Zach Ertz didn't score one. Mark Andrews got back in the end zone. Evan Ingram got in the end zone. Conklin got in the end zone. Kincaid got in the end zone. Gesicki, he just caught like 7 balls for 73 yards, no touchdown. Oliver from Minnesota got in there. Jesus, it was bonkers. Even Wright, their backup second or third string tight end in Detroit got in the end zone. 1 ball for 8 yards. Unbelievable. It was absolutely insane. I don't think you had any duds because I think everybody else that was like this low on the chart, you didn't expect nothing from. Jonnu Smith had a quiet day. Let's just, with that. He had 6. Taysom Hill had 6 and a quarter. Knox, 7. Johnson, 7.8. But, yeah, other than that, you didn't really expect any of these guys to really pop off anyways. Freiermuth he's been a letdown this year. 3.9 points, 2 catches for 19 yards. At this point, you just cut that dude. But yeah, National Tight Ends Day, and it was just nonstop scoring, catching, action from the studs. If you can jump on that, definitely. Yeah, I agree. But that guy's not making that trade. If he's asking for Mason, I'd hammer that button. That'd be a trade all freaking day. All freaking day. Just to give you, Mason, he's not even in the conversation anymore, right? Montgomery gets you 16.95 points. It seems like every damn week. It's like double digits every week. He gets in the end zone every freaking week. If you care about kickers, I do. Carlson, he's 19. Elliott, 18. Greg Joseph, 17. Oh, my God. Boswell had 15. And Siebert had 15. How many more kicks are they what's his name going to miss? What the hell's his name? Oh, God, I'm looking at I'll tell you who's a bust this week. Justin Tucker, 8 points. Brandon Aubrey only had 6. What is that dude's name from New York or New Jersey? Where is he? Oh, Zerline, Greg the Leg, 3 points. Dude, he is missing straight up. He's hitting post. It is week in and week out. Oh, my God. It is embarrassing. I'm like, that's got to be the next guy that Rodgers gets fired, right? He's just on a tear, trimming the fat, just getting everybody canned. And it's funny, I posted the top scoring kicker was Chris Bobble, but he got 15. It all depends on league scoring. Every time someone sees that they make a comment, it's like, well, it just depends on your league scoring, right? If you have, ours, you get points for 0 to 19, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, 40 to 49, then 50 plus. If you add in some other options for 55 plus or, et cetera, you have misses and it goes negative, that all, is calculated in. But yeah, Carlson, 19 points. He got the job done. Just waiting on Moody to get back, and he's going to, kick the F out of it too. And then, let me see real quick. Him, he is so bad. Yep. I dropped Tucker week 2, didn't feel like it was going to be his year. Yeah. I love Tucker. Big fan. You picked up Boswell. Did you stream him or did you, obviously, you're not going to cut him now, are you? It's a good pickup. You have him. Nice. You had Moody for most of the season. I got Brandon Aubrey in the league. That I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to hold on to him forever. Defenses. You had a handful of teams. I think, 7 get double digits this week. Detroit led the way with 18. Pittsburgh, 15. Denver, 13. Los Angeles Chargers, 12. Buffalo, 11. Houston, 10. Kansas City, 10. And most of those are rostered 100% or 90, whatever percent. Detroit's at 72. Los Angeles is 65. Houston, 57. Kansas City, 90. San Francisco, 94 and whatnot. So, but they're the ones that got it done this week. The terrible teams out there, Cincinnati, -4. Miami, 0. Tennessee, 0. New England, 1. Minnesota, 1. And Minnesota's been doing really good. Jacksonville too. Oof, it was a rough week for defenses for sure. Ooh. I change mine every week. Nice. I used to stream them, but if I get one that I like, I'll stream a defense. But yeah, Texas boy, I didn't like having to drop him. Yeah, I hear you. I didn't drop him. I picked up another person. I don't know who I dropped. I dropped somebody else. I dropped like a player. You know what? I think I dropped like Justin Fields because he just became like the backup again. I was like, yeah, get out of here. I'm gonna go pick up, a kicker. Yeah, I rolled with 2. Screw it. I was like, But yeah, I hardly ever do that. I've only done that in a couple situations, and it's when I drafted Justin Tucker and I held on to him the entire year. I'm like, I'm not dropping him. You know what I mean? I don't want anybody else to get him. This is back when he was scoring you 20 points a game. So it's just, I'm not doing that. That's just not for me, right? All right. Looking real quick. If we want to do waiver pickups, we can do waiver pickups. We have an injury report too, and then we're going to have I don't know when, but I'll have Lizzie call in a little bit. I'll get that league pulled up. Waiver wire targets this week. It's incredibly soft. It really is. Matt Stafford's available. If you've got someone out there that just S in the bed week in and week out, Matt Stafford has all his toys back. Puka, Cup, they're healthy, they're back, and he's slinging it. So he's rostered 39% of leagues. And then obviously Jameis Winston. Can he keep it up? 334 yards, 3 touchdowns. The QB rating of 115. It's nuts. That's absolutely bonkers. So if you're in a pinch, Bo Nix, and then as I mentioned, Joe Flacco, because Richardson got benched. Would you ride with Wilson or Winston rest of the season? Winston? Probably Winston. Yeah, taking a look at it, I don't even think, Wilson had 20 points. Yeah, he had 33 the week before against the Jets. I think the upside is with they play. All right, so week 9, the Steelers are on a bye week. So this week, this week. Then they play Washington. They're in Washington. Then they have to play Baltimore. Then they go to Cleveland. Then they're at Cincinnati, home against Cleveland, Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City. Those are some tough defenses. Let's be honest. Those are tough. Now, yeah, they'll probably be able to tee off on Cincy, but I don't know. If I'm looking at it, I've got to go with, and it's small sample size. I understand. And with Winston being back a week, he scored you 32 points this week. He gets to go against the Chargers. He's on a bye on the 10th. Then at New Orleans, against Pittsburgh, at Denver, at Pittsburgh, Kansas City, at Cincinnati, Miami. So I just think the upside's there. I really do. And if I'm picking them for rest of the season, I think I'm going to go with Jameis. And you know what? It would take one bad week from Jameis Winston to move me off of him. Because then it's like, okay, he's back, right? Like that's how I feel about that. That's how I feel about him. Yeah, playoff, exactly. Good teams. And just, yeah. Yep. Duncan says Wilson. All right, there you go. Running backs, like I said, slim pickings, right? You're Braylon Allen. He's available, but he's available in 30, or he's rostered in 37% of leagues. I have him in one of my leagues, and then I would start him like every week, and then they just stop using him, right? But it's like he's going to get you some short, touchdown runs. He finished with 12 carries and a tough, as they say here, tough 32 yards. He's a bulldozer, right? So, but he's good to stash if you want to do that. Tyler Algier is good to stash as well. Obviously, you can't play him yet. You just can't. And then you're looking at Jaleel McLaughlin. Garindo's obviously, I'd say close to being. I almost would put my priority in him, especially if you need a running back, just because you don't know what's going on with CMC, right? And Mason's hurt like every freaking game. His shoulder has been hurt like every freaking game. They got a new toy in town. Yeah, I hear that. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Obviously, receivers, Cedric Tillman, top of the list. Dude's only rostered 19% of leagues, and he's done great back-to-back weeks. Jameson loves him, so get going. Josh Downs, he had a good week. He's rostered in 47% of leagues. But with Flacco coming in, Flacco does spread the love. He really does. So his stock would go up. And Pittman, obviously, and whatnot. So, yeah, he'll score you a 25, 30-yard touchdown. Did he have a couple this week or just one? Did he have two? Maybe he just had one. And if you feel like throwing something out there, Keon Coleman, Bills. He went 5 receptions, 70 yards, 1 TD. He's not. He's rostered in 41%. I was going to say even a lower number than that. But one more note on the Downs. He made three touchdowns in the last 5 games, 2 of which were via passes from Flacco. There you go. So he's on a roll. As far as tight ends go, I don't know. Just take a pick, stream one. For real. Like, these guys all had great weeks this last week, and it was National Tight Ends Day, so they were making an effort, right? They were making a concerted effort to get these guys the ball. Kate Otten, he's in only 63% of leagues, and he's been getting the ball here recently as well. But everyone else is rostered. Ertz, he was my streamer, for a while when Evan Ingram was out. He's only rostered in 28% of leagues. He gets you about, I don't know, double digits every single week. There was one week where he got like 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever. I was like, okay, fine. But everybody else, like Gesicki's he's getting slept on. You know what I mean? He's only rostered in 8% of leagues. He gets you double digits almost every single week. So, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. Hunter Henry, he's on a week, off a week, on a week, off a week. So it really just comes down to, how you're feeling about that. But receivers and whatnot, I don't know. Elijah Moore drew like 12 targets. So if you can't get, Cedric, you're like, I want Elijah Moore. It's not a terrible pick either, right? There are issues coming out the ass with these injuries. Just real quick, we're going to quick hit them all. Let me close that. Hopefully I didn't open up some crazy thing. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. Receiver, Stephon Diggs. He's tore his ACL. He's going to miss the remainder of the season. And it sucks. It does suck for the Houston Texans. But good news, Nico Collins is going to be back week 10. So that'll help out tremendously. Jordan Love is questionable. He's got a mild growing strain. It was so weird of a play. Just look like he got bumped the wrong way, and it jostled him a little bit. So he, see how long he's out. He's weak. He's day to day. He's questionable. T. Higgins, he's week to week. He had a quad injury during like Friday's practice, and he's still. I think they were talking about him getting traded as well. So I don't know where he's going. He ain't healthy. It's just depressing, is what it is. Because in that league where I drafted all Cincinnati Bengal players, he's my wide receiver too, and it's like, come on, man, get back in the game. I need you. Then you got T.J. Hawkinson. There's a good chance he might actually play. He's going to be back, right? So it's a good thing he's coming off of it. What's that? Very good chance the Vikings will welcome Hawkinson back to the fold for his 2024 debut. But they say he might be on a snap count. I don't know. Every time they start saying snap counts, dude's out there. Like Puka's running wild, right? Brian Thomas, he got a chest contusion, so he's questionable right now. And then Gabe Davis is dealing with a shoulder ailment. Tyrone Tracy, he's in concussion protocol, and he has to clear 5 steps before that he can return. He's very questionable for week 9, so that would bump up Devin Singletary's stock considerably if he's healthy. Christian Kirk broke his clavicle, and he's done for the year, which would normally boost up Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis a little bit, but they're both hurt. So I think it just really helps out Evan Ingram this week or going forward. And then you have Derek Carr. They're talking about him coming back this week. His oblique. The Saints need him in a bad way, like a bad way. So we'll see if he suits up. Drake May, he's in concussion protocol. He's gonna have a tough time clearing it for week 9. Jacoby Brissett is the next man up. It sucks too because it was like a cheap shot. Like he's sliding. I mentioned it the other night. It's like he's sliding and then he just gets clocked in the back of the head. Alan Lazard, he's week to week with a chest injury. Jonathan Brooks, he's supposed to make his debut this week, so we'll see. Panthers look terrible, like just absolutely terrible. Bud Means, he's got a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss 2 to 4 weeks. That's really all for the it's 5-2 in the Bronx. They still playing the Bronx? Yankees are up 5-2. I had a 1-run second inning and a 4-run third inning. That's what's up. Ooh, there we go. We're going to try not to go quietly into that good night. Lizzie, if you'd like to call in and talk about where you went wrong in your fantasy football league beard laws, you're more than welcome to do that right now. Otherwise, I'm going to call tonight, head out to the living room and watch the end of this game or watch the rest of this game. So, yeah, up to you. The phone is standing by. It's hooked up. And what do I got to do here? I'm trying to find the league. Where the hell's the league at? This used to be so much easier. League chat. Why don't I have an overview? I don't want an overview. I want the damn league. This isn't for me. Yahoo drives me crazy. It really does. Because I'm like, I want to get to everyone else in the league. You know what? Screw it. I'm going to get out of here. On a 5-game winning streak. Hold on one second, Lizzie. I'm going to answer the phone, but hold on, okay? All right. Hold on 1 second.
Accept, press 1.
Oh.
To send a voicemail, press 2.
What? To accept? Did you call the hotline? Hey, are you there?
What up?
Hold on 1 second, okay? I'm trying to go and pull up the actual league, and I can't find it. Like, it's easy on my phone. You know what? I'll just do it on my damn phone. We're going to make life so much easier. Go enjoy the game. I'm going to now. I got Lizzie on the horn. I'm going to turn her up here in a second, and I'm going to go to football real quick. We're going to talk about the devastating loss this week. Now, this is Beard Laws. They're a great podcast, the streaming group of guys, and I got into their league, got Lizzie into their league, and was like, okay. They're like, anybody want to play a Survivor League? And I go, what's that entail? Never played one, but it sounds cool. So essentially, it's just a random draft. Like it's auto draft for everybody. And whoever scores the least amount of points each week, they get eliminated. And then their players hit the waiver, it hit free agency. And so you get to go in and get them and whatnot. So essentially, you're just trying to score like 105 points a week. That's really all you're trying to do. Because there's always someone that, some people score like 50 or, injuries and crap, all kinds of stuff happens, right? Because this is like a 12-team league or 14-team league. But so anyways, all right, I got you on the horn. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing good. Are you working on your Etsy store?
I am. I'm working on a few images as we speak.
Nice.
But I'm also listening to my least favorite podcast.
That Strikeout be your least favorite podcast. This is We Try Hard.
Okay. Well, I'm listening to SB Fantasy Football Podcast. We Try Hard.
There we go. So, I'm taking a look at your roster here, and it's not a bad roster. You just underperformed by 2 points, and I think you got bumped out of this league by 1.5 points, if I'm not mistaken. So you started Joe Burrow, Marvin Harrison Jr., Wan'Dale Robinson, Kenneth Walker the third, Jordan Cook, Pat Freiermuth, and Javonte Williams.
Right.
So it's trash. God. Now
Did someone just say it's trash?
No, they're talking about something else because there's no way I've already said the whole lineup and then that. On the bench, you had Jerry Jeudy, Baker Mayfield, Chase Brown, Ladd McConkey, and Puka Nacua on your IR with Baltimore as your defense. You had Green Bay on the bench. So how upset are you that you had the number 2 scoring receiver just sitting on your bench, Ladd McConkey?
Yeah, it was, I don't know. Sometimes you wake up in the morning, you're like, I feel like I'm going to make some big plays today. And obviously, if I could flip what was on my bench versus what I played, I would have done that all day long. So I don't know. And then Nacua, came off of IR, and I thought, you know what? I don't know about playing him yet. I don't know about playing Puka because he's just coming off, injury. How good is he going to be? I even brought it up like last week when you guys were live because I was like trying to figure out what kind of decision I needed to make, and my gut was like, I need to leave him on the bench. He needs 1 week of just kind of. I want to see what he does. Oh my gosh. Well, anyways, of course, McConkey was 29 points and Baker gave me 24 points. I mean, my bench, Jerry Jeudy, who has given me 0 point nothing points, 12 points.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, if you would have played any of your bench players over Wan'Dale Robinson or Javonte Williams, you would have won. And obviously Baker balled out quite a bit. He scored enough points. Everybody else is like, Michael's on here. He says, my bench literally had more points than my starters. I feel you. I kind of went through the same thing this week.
Yeah.
I had Kirk 2 chains on the bench, but I played Burrow. I was like, you know what? I'm going to put Burrow in because the last time, I think when Kirk put up 50 points, Burrow put up 50 points too or something. So I was like, all right, cool. But yeah, I feel you. It's tough decisions every single week. And it's like, you know what? I'm going to roll the dice this week. And I think the projected scores get in people's heads as well.
Yeah. I actually, I thought I had a chance. But obviously as the night went on and hell, Monday night, I wasn't getting any kind of alerts. I even forgot I had 2 players playing, because I wasn't getting any kind of alerts. I was like, all right, well, I'm out. So this morning I wake up and I'm thinking, all right, I haven't gotten any alerts about, Sacks in the City dropping players, and no sooner did I pick up my phone, it showed Sacks in the City drop, Sacks in the City drop, Sacks in the City drop. I'm like, I got bombed. I will say this, that I did make it farther than I did last year. So this is only my second time playing. I did make it further than I did last year, but it is, I was a bit disappointed in my decisions. But hey, you live and you learn. Going with my gut is not always the best thing, I guess, but I don't know. I still kind of, I don't know. I'm still kind of beat down by it. Just kind of, I don't know. It just kind of sucks. I hate fantasy football. I hate them.
You love it and you hate it. It's like one of the I feel you. And you have a big game coming up this week. You're still in the SB Fantasy Football Listener League.
Yeah.
You're unfortunately in last place. You're 3-5, along with several other people. So you're only 2 games back out of the playoffs, 3 games from first place. So this league is all kind of tussled up. Big game this week. I mentioned it earlier, but I had week 8 put in there for the final scores. Now this week I'm playing old school. I'm 8th, he's 9th. You're going up against Allen. He's 10th, you're 12th. How you feeling?
Well, I mean, considering I just heard mid-afternoon about Richardson being benched and Flacco, coming back in because he said, put me in, coach, I'm ready. Of course, about a week ago, I dropped Flacco. So now I'm just like, oh, my God. But, I mean, I also have who else do I got?
Well,
that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah,
I don't got anybody else. I need a quarterback.
Yeah, you're going to have to burn your waiver priority if you can even get him. You have to get Flacco because Drake May, I do not believe, will pass concussion protocol. So you'll be down to just Trevor Lawrence. So you have Trevor Lawrence. You got Tyreek Hill. You got Chris Olave. He's back, doing good. Devin Singletary, with Tracy being injured this week, there's a chance that Devin Singletary actually gets back on track. They're playing against Washington, so he's going to be featured back there. Now you got Brock Bowers, a nice tight end there. Mm-hmm. But you got McLaughlin at running back. You got Cooper in your flex. So you got to try to work on getting maybe a running back in there. Maybe you can make a move or pick somebody up. There are some running backs to be had, just not a lot, right? Mm-hmm. So, but you've got some things. Duncan, I have to leave. Thanks for helping enjoy game. Go Dodgers. I hear you. Yep. Thanks for popping in. I'm sure Alan will be live later this week as well. He'll do some start sit and trade talk and things like that. Thanks for being in here, Duncan. I appreciate it. You too, Mike. Appreciate it. Thank you. So yeah, this league's got you kind of in a pickle as well. But yeah, I think you're gonna have to you got to put the request in tonight to get.
I did already.
You did already, okay? Because I mean, I don't think you have
Yep.
an option. Drake May right now. He was diagnosed with a concussion after exiting in the second quarter of Sunday's game against the Jets and has been ruled out for the remainder of the contest. There has been no update since then. So
Yeah.
that's bad news.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did. I put my claim in for Flacco. So we'll see. If I don't get Flacco, I don't know. At this point, I'm just kind of over it. I'm over fantasy football.
Ready to call it a year, are you?
I'm ready to call it a year.
Oh, geez. All right.
Ready to call it a year. So,
Willis. Oh,
but it's all good.
you know what? We got a great comment here from Michael Lopez. Willis will be starting.
What's up, Michael Lopez?
Willis will be starting, I believe. Well, is he starting this week or not? Now, I think also, who else got hurt? Like I was mentioning, a bunch of people getting hurt. Now, Jameis Winston might be available. Willis might be available. So it's just we'll have to look at your quarterback situation.
Yeah.
Because obviously, with this one, you're going to have to go in there and take a look and see everybody who's available. Because in this league, it's a super flex league, so you have guys that go and get 2 quarterbacks, and then they'll grab like a third and possibly a fourth to stash. So, but thanks, Lizzie, for calling in. I appreciate it. Better luck next week.
I appreciate it. Thanks for taking my call. Thanks for the feedback. And I also appreciate you putting my losing roster on your reel this morning. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I had to let the people see what happened. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bad lineup either. It's just bad luck. You know what I mean? It's just bad luck.
Yeah. All right. And you guys, you take care.
All right, bye.
Bye.
There you go. There's Lizzie. So wanting to check in. Oh, well, you know what? That's going to do it for us tonight, I believe. It's, get out there. If you got waiver priority or fab, whatever, be careful with your bucks. Be careful with burning a waiver priority on a player that you might not even need, because you never know when you're going to need that top priority and to get a player that you absolutely in dire need to get. So, wake up early on Wednesday, see if the guy you're looking for is still there, to avoid using that fab, to avoid using, there's sometimes you can get a guy for $1, in fab situations and things like that. So, yeah. I think Alan's going to be live tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. I'm just going to be off for the next couple of days. My son's flying into town. Halloween's Thursday. We're just going to be busy around here. And, hopefully I'll be back around next week. I did a little Sunday show, a Friday afternoon show on Strikeout Beer, Sunday night show on Strikeout Beer as well. That's our other podcast. You can come check that out as well. But, yeah, that's going to do it. Thank you all for being in here. I'm RD. I'm out of here. We'll see you next time. Adios.